March 2nd, 12 p.m. Would you please join me in the flag, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, Ben.
Nelson, Knapp.
Yep.
Donlin.
Yes.
Goodchild.
Yes.
Rick.
I'd like to welcome all the people that are in the chamber today for the council meeting, and particularly you people that are watching over television, wherever you may be.
Motion to approve the agenda?
For a second?
Yes.
Motion made, second to approve the agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Today we have a easement hearing to vacate an easement at the February 2nd, 2021 meeting. The council set this as the date and time to hear public comment regarding vacating of 6.5 feet of a 15-feet utility easement on Lot 8, Lot 2, Kluger Industrial Park, 800 Prospect Street Southwest. Red Shed Enterprises LLC anticipates constructing a building within the vacated easement, and there are currently no utilities within the easement. Recommendation is at this time, I'm going to open the meeting for a hearing and ask if there's any oral or written objections or comments to the resolution. I'll ask once again if there's any oral objections or written comments to this resolution. Hearing none, I'm going to close the hearing at this time. The administration recommends the council approval, and we'll open for the questions if you have any. Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to adopt Resolution 21-9 to vacate 6.5 feet of utility easement on Lot 8, Block 2, Kluger Industrial Park. That's 800 Prospect Street Southwest.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion been made and second to adopt Resolution 21-9 to vacate 6.5 or 6.5 feet of a utility easement on Lot 8, Lot 2, Kluger Industrial Park, 800 Prospect Street Southwest, to Red Shed Enterprises LLC.
Dick, I do have one question. Jason, Greg, this morning at the zoning meeting, it was brought up that where is the water main? Where exactly, because there's no utilities in this, but where's the water main?
There's a 30-foot utility south. So
There's another easement behind this.
yeah, there's a different 30-foot utility easement. That's where the water is.
Oh, okay, all right, good enough.
Answer the question.
Yeah, because I just wanted to make, yeah, no problem.
Okay, can we have a roll call on that, Ben?
Knapp.
Yes.
Donlin.
Yes.
Goodchild.
Yes.
Motion passed. Harry, thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
Hey, unanimous doesn't always happen, so important that.
Nelson's here.
Yeah, there was 5 people here.
There's no way that it'd be 13.
And 2 microphones, 2 bills.
Okay, moving on to the thumbs up award. Clark?
Dick, I do not have a thumbs up, but I have a hats off.
Okay.
This week, Casey Stingle died.
Yes.
Longtime city employee. I met Casey probably back in the 4th, 5th grade a few times during his course of working for the city. And throughout the years, he was just a nice guy to visit with and always pleasant to visit with and run into in the store. And so, hats off to Casey.
A lot of people felt the same way about Casey.
You bet.
He was a great guy.
He was a good guy.
Rex?
Amen to that, yeah.
Mike?
I've got a thumbs up that started out with just the public health folks at Floyd Valley Healthcare on the work they've been doing, practically meeting themselves coming and going, doing all the COVID vaccinations. But then I came to understand that it's not just those folks doing the hundreds and thousands of vaccinations, but also there's a crew at the clinic that is also doing vaccinations for COVID, working through that Tier 1B and now expanding beyond that. And then also now the folks at Hy-Vee have the contract to pitch in to do some vaccinations here in the community as well. So vaccinations, and that includes we're one of the counties that got that expanded list of the new vaccine, which is the 1-dose one, which is good news. We need to keep the vaccinations going. The acceptance, from what Tara Geddes at Public Health tells me, the acceptance from the group so far has been quite good. And I'm very pleased to report and give a thumbs up to everyone about that. We need to keep pushing it and getting it to the point where we get the community-wide benefit of immunity. So thumbs up to all those folks working hard to get us vaccinated.
Thank you very kindly, Mike. Bring us up to date on that one. I agree 100% to keep the ball rolling. Okay, let's see, the other two are gone. Okay, consent items. All items listed under consent agenda be enacted by one motion. There be no separate
I was gonna do
discussion
the
on these
citizens
items
thing,
unless a
but-
request is made prior to the time the council votes on the motion. Today we have 5 of them. First one is approval of the February 16th, 2021 regular meeting minutes. Number 2 is a list of the bills for period ending 2/28/21. Number 3 is a new or transfer of liquor license and renewal of a beer permit, Atasco and Bob's and KC's. Number 4 is a request to close the street on ridiculous days. And number 5 is a community Easter egg hunt. Any council members have any requests to pull those before
Can
we
we,
vote? Excuse me, Jacob.
pull number 5, we'll remove number 5.
Okay.
They're still evaluating, whether or not they're gonna do it. So
Okay.
they may come, that may be a request at next council meeting.
Can we just approve it, then they don't have to? or-
Well, that's up to you, yeah.
I mean,
They-
if they decide to have it, we can just approve it, and if they don't, then it's no problem.
That's fine too.
Are we transferring liquor license to that event, or?
I called check that out.
Sorry, didn't mean to be lighthearted. Didn't mean to be lighthearted. Motion to approve consent 1 through 5. Oh, sorry, Rex.
Sorry. On the street closure, we're closing at 7 o'clock in the morning for ridiculous days.
Yeah.
It starts at 6, so we don't close. They can start driving up and down when people are out there trying to shop. I mean, I think we should close at 6 regardless of whether they ask for it or not, because they're gonna have to move stuff out there. And we don't want people driving through there at 6 o'clock in the morning when they're moving things out to the street and setting up vendors.
Is that how it's getting advertised, Rex, 6?
Well, no, I'm just saying that
They always historically start at 6 o'clock, no?
Well, I mean, I could be wrong, but I thought they said the request would be the same as last year, so I looked at.
they might start selling at 7 outside, but what I'm saying is if people are driving through there at 6, that's probably not a good idea.
Well, here's how it typically works, is the city usually provides the barricades.
Exactly, and I'm thinking we
And we
provide
usually get
barricades
them out
also.
there the day before anyway,
Okay,
so
well,
it's a matter of, it's their responsibility to put them out, so whenever they put them
I
out.
just thought
But if they put them out at 6:45, they're totally in violation of what we permitted.
Well, take
All I was doing
out,
was asking the question.
so in your motion, you can take out the times.
No,
if you want.
It's fine, this just sounds really kind of weird because you're gonna have
ridiculous.
you're gonna have a few
That's
trucks and
ridiculous.
stuff like that that are gonna drive in there and then all of a sudden park. So then we're gonna let cars go through until 7.
Motion to approve consent items 1 through 5.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made and second to approve the consent items 1 through 5. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
See, and you thought this was gonna be simple, see that?
Yeah.
We can make even simple stuff complicated.
I just wanted to run smooth. Okay, moving on to the action items.
We didn't think I was, I don't wanna be up now.
The council has received a copy of the FYE 2020 Comprehensive Annual Financial Report. Representatives from Williams and Company will be here, and I see they're here. If you have any questions or you'll be explaining it, we'll be meeting to discuss the report. So at this time, Joy, would you please give us your update and keep the financial condition very positive. We don't like red ink.
All right, so I believe that you all got a copy of this. That a lot of it was fairly smooth this year, given all the circumstances of COVID. That was kind of a unique situation, trying to kind of do all that. That we did all our audits remote. We have the technology to do that, but since you guys are right in town, that went real smooth, because if we needed anything, we could just stop by and pick it up and bring it back and forth to the office in City Hall. So that went pretty well. I think I'll just kind of go through the report and kind of highlight just a few items. Starting on page 3 is our auditor's opinion report. That if you, in the first, or the paragraph, auditor's responsibility, it basically just lists out what our responsibility is. That our responsibility is to issue an opinion on the financials. And page 4, under the opinions paragraph, it says, in our opinion, based on our audit and the report of other auditors, that's the hospital's report, the financial statements referred to above present fairly in all material respects. So that is the clean, unmodified opinion that you guys want, and you received the clean opinion. Page 6 is the management discussion analysis. That basically, if you don't have time to look at the entire report, this section here has a lot of good information, comparative information from 2019 to 2020. So on page 15 is the government-wide financial statements. That you can't make business decisions from this statement. It's a 10,000 foot level. Basically, it shows what you own and what you owe, and then you can kind of use it to compare cities of the same size to what you owe and own. Next page is the income statement on a full accrual basis. Page 18 is kind of where I'll kind of highlight a few things. That this is the major fund balance sheet, and specifically if you look at the general fund, that we always take a look at the unassigned balance and fund balance, which is 3.1 million. And if you divide that into the number of days of expenditures that the city has on hand, that is 134 days of basically reserves.
That's up from last year?
It's up from last year from 104.
From 104, okay.
Yep.
So what position, I ask this every year, and I remember the answer every year, but I ask it every year.
Yep.
So what is the number? What is the good number?
Like, we always say 90 to 120 days.
Okay.
At, basically a bare minimum would be a good.
So why are we at 130?
Well, so some of it is because just that there were some restrictions that were released from the year before.
Okay.
And then just basically the activity that, so like general fund on page 20 shows that you had, general fund went up 1.6 million, but some of that is also an increase in some of the reserves as well. So that's not all related to the increase in the unrestricted.
Okay.
So.
Good enough.
Then page 22 is the balance sheet for the utility funds. Then you got the income statement and cash flows following that. Starting on page 31 is the notes to the financial statements. Basically, there's going to great detail of the actual numbers on the financial statements. So if you want more detail on any of those numbers, you can take a look at the notes. Then on page 72 and 73 is the budget to actual analysis. If you take a look at the total disbursements, that the city was not over budget in any category or any function. And so that's good that the city was within budget for every function of the expenditures. Then starting on page 84, this is the non-major financial statements. So these are all the smaller funds. They were listed in one column in the front, but every fund of the city is reported somewhere in the report, and the smaller funds are here in the back, and the larger funds were in the front. Then on page 100, bottom is the legal debt margin that the city has about 73% of its legal debt margin available. But then if you were to take out the sewer
plant?
yeah, then you're essentially at like 98% availability. That really come next year. The one geo bond in the governmental funds will be paid off, and then yeah, so you'll almost essentially only have that sewer bond still.
How long is that sewer bond?
I thought it was FY 26 is what I looked at.
That's when it goes away?
Yeah, when
Okay.
that's paid off, I believe.
That's what, those plans goes away, not the new one that we're gonna have to do. Their plan fix.
Oh, no, I realize that,
So-
I realize
so
that.
That's,
Yeah.
that's gonna be the
No,
new
that
one
part
for
I
this
get,
year.
that part I get.
But this, the one that we're paying off is the one we've already refinanced?
Yeah, a few years ago, I don't remember what year that was.
Which is the one we just did that I argued with you on?
Water.
The water?
The water, and then,
And we still got a little bit of that left, but that's done in a couple, 3 years too, right?
Evaporate.
Well, yeah. But yeah, we've got really no debt.
So if we have 74% available, I mean, for this report, 74%, how much money is that?
Well-
40 million.
40 million?
Plus.
Okay.
It'd be about 30, yeah, because about, well, on the bottom of page 100, where it says legal debt margin, 32,127,663.
Okay.
That's how much money is room you have.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so, but I don't think if we went to the bank asking for 32 million on the bond, I think we might get some questions.
Well, me and Ken Nelson are gonna ask for some on this sewer plant.
No, but that's,
We're gonna spend some money
but that's a
here.
different thing. We have to decide whether we want to do revenue bonds or whether we want to do TO.
You bet.
And we got the auditors figuring it out, we got us figuring it out, but the revenue bonds cost more money. So since we got a lot of GO available, we might do GO backed by revenues, which is really convoluted, but that's why we're paying Mike Murphy the big bucks. Make sure it's right.
And Jacob.
And Jacob, yeah, see, the brains are at that table.
You guys sitting at the table, you sitting there for nothing.
No, this is important stuff.
We're talking, just for clarification, we're talking DOT required expenditures, so that's very important to say. Or no, excuse me, DNR.
DNR,
DOT, I said
yeah.
DOT, DNR. My
They
apologies.
come from the same place.
Yeah.
Continue on, we'll
Yep,
swap that.
So, just finish up here, just then, page 102, that, basically, it just states that we have gained an understanding of the city's internal controls. We didn't actually opine on the internal controls, but it's required that we just gain an understanding. Then on page 104 is just the schedule of findings. We just have one finding essentially, which is the journal entry finding that we have every year, that all of our clients have the same finding, that if you got one journal entry, then we have to have this finding. So nobody's perfect, it's not that big of a deal. Like I said, that 95% of our clients have this as well, so. But that's probably all that I've got. Is there any other questions?
Any questions for the Williams? Hearing none, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
I think we're in pretty good shape, don't you?
Yes, yep, like I said, we talked about that
And,
and everything that, you know, with COVID too, didn't know how that was gonna be hitting the cities, but, city had gotten roughly 240 grand of the local COVID relief fund that, Governor Reynolds had awarded local governments back in, I think the city got it in October, the cash. So that helped out a lot and helped out all the other local governments due to added expense.
I would say we're pretty blessed as to where we're sitting today.
So I made the motion, Mr. Donovan seconded it, so you just got asked for the call.
Okay, there's been a motion made and second accepting the City of Lamar's comprehensive annual financial report year-end June 30th. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Is there an end in that?
Moving on to action item D3.
Thank you.
Partial public improvements for the KNS 4th edition. KNS LLC is requesting council consideration of acceptance of the public improvements with KNS 4th edition. Improvements have not been completed in the entire platted subdivision. Therefore, this approval is for the public improvements on First Avenue, Second Avenue, Avenue Southeast, and 19th Street Southeast only. The remainder of the improvements will be completed in 2021. A final inspection was conducted in January 2021, and a punch list items have been completed. A set of as-built drawings will be created by Schoenfield Engineering when the public improvements are all complete. Recommendation is the city administrator is recommending the council to accept the public improvements as completed to date. Questions? Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion.
As of this morning, the punch list is done.
Of the part we are approving.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. For the city items.
I understand.
There were some items
I
that
understand.
KNS
The
out.
city items of the part we're approving is completed, okay?
They're done.
Okay,
Motion to accept public improvements on First Avenue Southeast, Second Avenue Southeast, and 19th Street Southeast in KNS 4th edition.
is there a second?
Yes.
Motion been made and second to accept the public improvements on the First Avenue Southeast, Second Avenue Southeast, and the 19th Street Southeast in the KNS 4th edition. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.